Thanks very much, everybody, for joining me. Saj Sadek here. Like you, I was watching the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris, and what a wonderful occasion it was to see all those athletes, all those wonderful sportsmen and women from around the world being paraded down the River Seine in the heart of Paris. Really enjoyed the opening ceremony, and of course, I looked forward to seeing the Pakistan athletes and as they were brought on those boats in the various teams. And I didn't know how many athletes there would be, or participants, shall I say, rather than athletes for Pakistan. And when the Pakistan contingent were shown on the television, I was absolutely shocked, surprised, and disappointed as to just how few competitors there were. Read an article afterwards, and it said 7 competitors from Pakistan and 7 officials. Absolutely appalling, that is. I mean, is sports dead in Pakistan? What is going on, really? Saw some of the other nations, you look at the likes of Turkey and India and other nations of a similar size to Pakistan, and the number of competitors they had, boats full of their competitors, all looking to win medals and represent their country. And unfortunately, the Pakistani contingent, as I say, 14 of them, which included 7 officials. What is going on? What is going on in Pakistan sports where we are at a situation in the country's history where sports just seems to be dying? Where is the investment? I mean, I think back at squash. I remember growing up and Jahangir Khan and Jamshid Khan, they ruled the world when it came to squash. They were untouchable. I mean, some of those, winning streaks that those guys had day in, day out, they were winning competitions, they were winning matches, they were winning tournaments. It gave them such a fantastic name in history, really, of sports, not just in squash. And it gave Pakistan such a great name as well. All over the world, Pakistan was known for its great squash players. I remember I was traveling to Pakistan, and Jahangir Khan was on our flight. And it was absolutely fantastic to meet him, and everybody was going up to him, and, they were getting autographs signed. And then when we stopped off at Dubai Airport, where there was a stop on the way to Lahore, and there were hundreds of fans coming up just to sort of meet him and shake his hand and chat to him, and he obliged. He was an international superstar, and it was the same for Jamshid Khan. And unfortunately, squash has just died a death in Pakistan. What has happened to those great squash players that we once had? Same with hockey. I remember my dad, when I was growing up, telling me about the great Pakistani hockey teams, the great Pakistani players, and those wonderful artists, magicians they were with the hockey stick. And they did so well in Olympic tournaments and in world championships and various other tournaments, and they were amongst the best in the game of hockey. And these days, I mean, look, we're not even sending a team to the Olympics. It's just so disappointing, so depressing, so disheartening that, again, another sport that Pakistan were once great in. And I wouldn't say they ruled the world, but there were occasions when they were the #1 team. But nowadays, hockey is just another sport where Pakistan is just going downhill. And even in the past, I know not many of them won medals or they were great, but Pakistan's boxers as well. We saw boxers going and representing Pakistan in the Olympics and doing well. I remember on one occasion a guy did pretty well and almost won a medal. And again, where are those boxers? Where are those athletes? Where are these great sports people that are out there to represent Pakistan? And unfortunately, I think all our eggs are in one basket with the great javelin thrower, Arshad Nadeem, who, the poor guy, is absolutely fantastic. He's the flag bearer, wasn't he, for the opening ceremony? And he's our medal hope at the moment. But he's had investment issues, he's had sponsorship issues, and finally he's getting the much needed and much welcomed and deserving support from people to help him with his javelin throwing and to give to put Pakistan's name out there in athletics. But it's absolutely shocking that even he's had to almost beg and plead for help in supporting him and providing him with the backing and the financial support for him, allowing him to compete on a world stage. I mean, these sort of guys like Urshad Nadeem, there should be hundreds of companies lining up waiting to sponsor him, and he should be getting national help as well from the government, from local businessmen and national businessmen, and these companies should be queuing up to help the likes of Urshad Nadeem. I think we look at the example of football as well in Pakistan and its turbulent past and recent times where corruption and allegations and infighting have hampered the progress that Pakistan have been trying to make in football. And unfortunately, they are still lagging behind in football when Pakistan is a football mad nation. I remember speaking to a few guys, and they were saying that the likes of Karachi, Lahore, etc., have branches of Liverpool Football Club fans and Manchester United fans, and they've always loved their support of Pakistani fans, especially football as well. And I mean, squash, hockey, football, they're all just dying a death. And we're just not making any progress in these sports at all. And I come to cricket. Obviously, cricket is still functioning. It's still doing quite well. It's getting levels of investment. The PSL is there. But on a international scale, Pakistan cricket is dying as well. It's going downhill in terms of how good we are as a nation in cricket. And I guess the fear is that cricket doesn't go the way of the likes of squash and hockey. I don't think it will, because the investment is still there, and the fans are still flocking to watch tournaments like the PSL, and obviously international cricket has returned to Pakistan in the last few years. So that's a bonus, and we're seeing some of the biggest teams in the world now coming to Pakistan. Obviously, there's the Champions Trophy next year as well, so that should provide a boost to Pakistan cricket as well. So cricket is surviving. Cricket is the top dog at the moment, but my heart bleeds for other sports in Pakistan. I would encourage people to invest, to businessmen to invest in academies, for companies to invest in sports like squash, in sports like hockey, so that those great days, those great times, that fantastic era of the past in hockey and squash can once again be revitalized. Because seeing 7 athletes competing at this Olympics in Paris is nothing short of embarrassing. And, Pakistan should be providing the world with a lot more athletes and a lot more competitors than 7 that it is doing in Paris. And I encourage schools to play more of these sports, to encourage youngsters to take up these sports. And as I say, academies and investment is needed throughout, from the bottom levels of sport in Pakistan. From a young age, we need academies to produce the future superstars in hockey and football and squash, and to continue providing the pathway to future careers in these sports. Because the likes of Urshad Nadeem are 1 in a million at the moment, and they're like gold dust, really. And unfortunately, we're not having or not producing too many Urshad Nadeems, and I'm afraid it's a situation where these great athletes, these superstars, are few and far between, and other countries have gone past and overtaken Pakistan quite easily. So let's hope that the future is brighter for Pakistan sports, because at the moment it's a real struggle, and it's heartbreaking to see Pakistan sports heading in the direction it is, which is downwards. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Take care.